There's a whole lot of celebrating by IU basketball fans after today's victory in the Big Ten tournament here in Indianapolis. Welcome inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. Felicia and I with you. We're going to get with Sean in a moment because, Felicia, we got some cold weather coming our way.
Yes, but before we get to that, Indianapolis, just the city was buzzing today.
Sure
it was
was.
a sea of red,
Yep.
a sea of basketball fans, and we have to acknowledge our Bulldogs, the Butler University, didn't get the W they were hoping for.
They lost today, that's right.
Heart for you.
I know. So IU's got a big game tomorrow against Illinois. We've got Purdue tomorrow night. So basketball is going to be part of our big discussion tonight here on the show. Great to be with you. Let us know where you are watching tonight, which city. We'll give you a shout out over the next 15 minutes as we chat. But let's bring Sean in because for days now we've been talking about this possible snow and
snow
cold weather.
event that's on the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more of a nuisance than anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're going to miss the heavier stuff to our west, to our south, and to our east. But this time tomorrow night, I do think we're going to have some slick spots here because temperatures are going to be going well below freezing. So let's set the stage for you. And right now, nothing to worry about. 30 Lafayette, 38 in Indy. For the most part, a clean sweep on live Doppler 13 radar. This system, it's kind of in two pieces. I mentioned the heavier stuff around us. You can see where the winter weather advisories and winter storm watches for eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee through New England. That's where the heaviest snow is going to be falling. Now, we may get some counties included into an advisory by tomorrow night. But you can see those darker shades of blue. That's the heavier snow that we're talking about. So just looked at some of our latest data. Northwestern Indiana with early morning snow, 1 to possibly 3 inches. Most of the metro area, anywhere from a dusting to locally an inch. But there will be spots. There will be spots in that central area that may not see much at all because I mentioned it's two pieces. The second one will be happening tomorrow night, and it's tough to say exactly where it's going to set up. Is it going to be closer to I-70 or is it going to be a little more toward southeastern Indiana? I'm going to show you Future Track 13 and know that early in the morning there's going to be some snow flying, especially north and northwest of Indy. That's the first little piece that we talked about. Second one will start to develop in the afternoon. One thing I want to point out, those temperatures are in the mid-30s. So right now, I think getting to work and getting home and basketball fans before 5 p.m., I don't think we're going to have any issues here, okay? This time tomorrow, we're going to see the big drop. And anything that's untreated, it will get a little slicker when it snows here.
And then Saturday morning.
And that, to me, that's the bigger story. Saturday morning wind chills near below zero is just going to be. And remember, we were at 70, what we have, 77, 78 last Saturday. So, yeah, that's going to be a little jolt to
That's Indiana weather, Felicia.
Oh, welcome.
You got a heavy coat, don't you?
I know. I thought I had left that in Chicago, but clearly I still need it.
We got a lot of friends watching us tonight. Want to say hello to, let's see, Donnie and Becky just saw that forecast and says, I'm going back to Florida.
Take me with you there.
Jim Yates joining us from Arizona tonight, talking about 70s this weekend. We've got Teresa from Indy. Beverly says snow won't last long. We've got Teresa with us.
Look at being positive.
Yeah.
And Wes saying not too bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. Jean from Fairmount tonight. Ralph joining us from Alabama. And we've got Sandy from Milroy. Scott joining us tonight. He's a big Hoosier fan from Kokomo. And we've got Dennis in Florida tonight. So we got all sorts of friends joining us tonight here on the 10 o'clock show.
It's a worldwide show here.
Yeah, we'll get back to Sean coming up in a moment, but we do want to turn our attention to a serious story that we're going to be bringing you tonight on 13 News at 11. This idea of prior to today, pregnant women who are in prison who have to give birth in prison are shackled. Now that's changing here in the state of Indiana, and this is a story that Emily Longnecker is bringing us tonight. Em, you talked to a woman who's gone through this, right?
I did, yeah. A woman, Christina Kovitz. She actually testified before a House committee in January talking about her experience of giving birth shackled to a bed here locally in a hospital. She was incarcerated and went to prison in 2011 and found out that she was expecting. And when she gave birth 9 months later, she had a shackle around her left ankle, and that was attached to a chain, which was then attached to a bed. And that is how she gave birth to her daughter, her third child. So she talked about this experience and of course testified about it in front of lawmakers this year. The governor signed into law today that will not be happening anymore. But Indiana was one of less than 20 states that was still doing that, where that was a possibility that could happen. So I think we have some sound from Christina right here. We want to take a listen where she explains how that was.
They had a shackle around my ankle, and they had this big, long, heavy chain that it gave enough distance for me to make it to the bathroom, and that was about it. Your legs are up, right? And here you are with a shackle attached to the bed.
My goodness.
I mean, really. And when I heard about this, I guess, and we had talked about it, like I wasn't aware that was happening. Felicia, I think you were saying like that happens. And
I was shocked when you shared this.
Right. And yes, it was. Right. And yes, it was. So this bill now, which has, been signed into law, had unanimous approval in the House and Senate, is going to make it so that is not something that is happening. So that little baby that you saw right there with Christina, that's her fourth child, Tegan, who is 6 months old. And she talked about, just it was a traumatic experience for her to give birth like that. And the bill received support from the American Medical Association. The American Psychological Association released a study in 2017 talking about the post-traumatic stress that incarcerated women go through when they give birth like that. And there were studies showing that, how dangerous that can be to the mother and the baby if there is some kind of emergency. So the law was initially authored by Representative Rita Fleming, who is a retired OBGYN, and talked to me about how she delivered babies for incarcerated women before in public hospitals here in Indiana, where in fact, yes, they were shackled. And she talked to me about, how she thought the practice was barbaric. And so it looks like it's coming to an end officially on the books.
Wow. See, I'll say I'm not a part of any association, but common sense just says, humanity says that that's just not okay. So I'm glad to see that Indiana has moved on this. It also, I think it should be noted how a female politician is the one that brought this to light and pushed it forward, and just shows you how important representation is.
Yeah, and it did receive unanimous approval on both sides of the aisle and amongst men and women. So it seemed like a lot of folks agreed.
It's an important story, and we'll be hearing more from you tonight on 13 News at 11. Em, great to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining us tonight with a preview for us.
Nice seeing you. All right, take care, guys.
All right, there's Emily Longnecker. She'll be joining us tonight at 11. Let's talk some hoops, because it's all about basketball here in Indianapolis. We've got the Big Ten basketball tournament underway over at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and IU is celebrating today because they had a big comeback win. They knocked off Michigan today, and of course, the Hoosiers trying to get back into the NCAA tournament. Today could be that answer for them. Dave Calabro was outside the field house to get reaction from some pretty excited Hoosier fans.
Dave Calabro, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The Indiana fans are going crazy. Their team was down by 17. They come back and beat Michigan in dramatic fashion. Now the big question is, are they in the NCAA tournament now? Let's hear from the fans.
Oh, I got to be honest, down 17, I never thought we could pull that off, but wow, we did, and the Xavier Johnson, loved that kid.
Is that amazing? How about you? What you thinking?
It was a great comeback. I'm very proud of them.
Yeah! Let's go Hoosiers!
Right here, right now. Right now. We beat Purdue at home. We ain't done yet.
We ain't done. Over. It's not over.
We'll see you tomorrow.
We will see you tomorrow.
I mean, my heart rate was 115, 120. I'll be honest. We all held our breath, but we always have hope. And today they.
Are you in the NCAA tournament now?
I hope. A win tomorrow would be a yes. Right now, it's I hope.
We're going to the championship.
Woo! Let's go! Did you have any doubt they were down by 17? You knew they were going to make it.
No doubt. no doubt.
Have they done enough to get in the NCAA tournament? Are you convinced they deserve it?
I think we deserve it. I think we're in. I don't know for sure, but I think.
Were you worried that IU was not going to win it?
Yeah.
But what happened at the end?
We won.
You won, right?
Go Hoosiers! We're dancing! We are dancing! Let's go!
So a lot of fun here at the Big Ten tournament as IU gets a big comeback win. Now they take on #1 seed Illinois. That's tomorrow. But right now, Indiana's red hot all of a sudden. I'm Dave Calabro.
Oh my goodness,
That's
the
so much
excitement.
You know, I love it, man. The fans are back. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just nothing better than this city when we're hosting these events.
Exactly.
I mean, I was at the gym and I hopped in the shower and I'm like, you know, they're down 17.
Right.
And I'm like, what the heck? And that finish, they just put on the gas.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
congrats to IU. And tomorrow will be a big game, as Dave mentioned. It's IU, Illinois. Illinois is the top seed in the Big Ten. So that game's at 11:30. And then we've got Purdue waiting on the winner of Ohio State, Penn State.
That's right, yeah.
And that'll be a late game tomorrow night. Ohio State was leading in the second
Yeah, they were
half,
up
right?
about 9 when the last
Yeah.
time I checked going into halftime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. I love it. I'm pumped up.
Okay,
And, you know,
so-
and a week from today, too, we've got, you know, NCAA
Right,
here.
March Madness coming
Thursday
here.
and Saturday next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So jump in the comments.
Yeah.
Let us know who you're rooting for.
Oh, my gosh,
Who you think we
Felicia.
should be for.
All
Oh,
sorts
someone's
of
upset.
IU.
Are they
Oh, yeah.
upset at the IU
Well,
win?
let's see. So Brian says we won. Kim Adams says Hoosier hysteria lives on. Glenn says I'm glad IU did win. Wes is happy about IU. Let's see. Sherry saying that IU game was awesome. Brian saying IU biggest comeback ever. So we've got a lot of people talking about the IU game. So look,
Which
Hoosier
makes
Nation,
sense, yeah.
Well,
excited.
and historically in the Big Ten tournament,
Right.
IU has not performed well.
True.
You might argue this is their best win
Yeah.
in the Big Ten tournament, perhaps. Win tomorrow. And
They're in.
They're in. And I still think they're got to be. They're
Yeah.
right there on the cusp.
Yeah, I hope that's
So,
the case.
Yeah.
Love to see both Purdue and
Yeah,
IU make
yeah.
March Madness. All right, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. Felicia and Sean and I will be with you tonight. 13 News at 11 o'clock. And again, we're with you every night, 10 o'clock, right here where you are watching. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.